We'll start in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24. That's where we'll start. And we're looking at an example here Paul gives referring to a race. And we'll look at a passage in Hebrews also that refers to this race, this journey that we have as we go through life and we are working towards the finish line being heaven. And you can put yourself in two categories according to the race. You can be in the race running, or you can be watching everybody else run the race. And that watching everybody else run the race, that category, isn't just those outside of Christ. This can be Christians too that are not actively running the race. So the first question to ask yourself is, are you running the race? Are you in the race? Are you in the hunt for the finish line? Are you running towards heaven? And if not, you need to be jumping in and running. We'll start in verse 24 of 1 Corinthians chapter 9. It says, "Do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but only one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may win. Everyone who competes in the games exercises self-control in all things. They then do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. Therefore, I run in such a way as not without aim. I box in such a way as not beating the air. But I discipline my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified." If you're in that race, where you need to be, we need to train and equip ourselves for the race. The race is not an easy race. The race is not an easy jog or walk. And there's going to be times where you trip and fall and want to join the audience and you're tired and don't want to be in the race any longer. So we have to continue to train and equip ourselves. We've got to continue to be studying the Word. We've got to be living by the Word. We've got to continue our training. If you're an athlete and you are out there competing, you don't train and then once you get to a certain point, I'm trained, I'm good to go, I can go be a professional athlete for the next 15 years. They train daily. They are constantly trying to get better. And we can look at it as Christians. We have constantly got to be trying to get better. We've got to constantly be training. We've got to equip ourselves because the race is not easy. There's going to be things that get in the way. You're going to trip and fall. How do you respond? Have you trained yourself in a way that you're able to get back up and keep running? We also have to run with a purpose. You look in verse 24, run in such a way that you may win. And down in verse 26, therefore I run in such a way as not without aim. I box in such a way as not beating the air. Run for a purpose. Look for that finish line. How do you run for a purpose? You've got to have effort, right? You've got to mean something with your running. You've got to look for those in the audience and try to get them to join you in the race. You've got to look for those that have tripped and fell down to pick them back up. Yes, you are running in a way that you may win. You're running with a purpose. But in our race, we want everybody to make it to the finish line, right? We don't want just ourselves. So we've got to be active in our race. We can't just stay to ourselves and keep that light jog and don't really worry about anybody else. We need to be active with the people in the race and those in the audience because we're trying to get everybody there. We're trying to get those in the audience to join us as we're helping those that are also running the race. We've got to run with a purpose. We're there for a reason. And we also have to endure the race, the journey. Look in Hebrews chapter 12. Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, since we have so great a cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let us also lay aside every encumbrance and the sin which so easily entangles us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author, the perfecter of faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. We have to have endurance. It's not a sprint. It's not a 40-yard dash. It's a marathon. It's a lifelong race. It's a journey until your time on earth is done. We have to build our endurance, and the way we can have endurance is to train ourselves, is to equip ourselves, be active as we're running, set ourselves up for success to be able to endure what the race holds, what the journey holds. And the ultimate way we can do that is to fix our eyes on Jesus. Fix your eyes on the right things, and you will get there. You will cross that finish line, and you will make it to heaven. So, as we go through the race, equip yourselves, run with a purpose, and endure the race with your eyes on Jesus to set yourselves up for success. If there's anyone that has any need, come forward as we stand and sing the invitation song.